Hello, folks. Well, this is Miguel from Embargo Man. So we're Mickey Mouse apparel, Mickey Mouse watch, Mickey Mouse shirt. But one thing for sure about, regardless of political affiliation, and regardless of all these things, is this is what I'm talking about in the United States, right? So if Disney were to create a park in Canada, they could, right? So what it is that I read some articles and see something. This is about DeSantis stupid law in schools, or whatever you could say about of the so-called "don't say gay" law and Creedy Creek. You know, like there's a property that is in Disney in Orlando, right? So what's going to happen with all this, of Disney property, is that DeSantis, or what I tell you about, not just about sexual orientation, right? About don't say gay. What it is not just don't say gay. This is about telling children not to tell about this type of stuff of if their parents are gay or bisexual or LGBTQ, but also that if their kids are, do not say if boys that like boys or girls that like girls, or and source things of it, like saying, oh, boy want to feel like I want to be a girl, so they could get boys to get in the girls bathroom or whatever. Well, it's got of prevention in there, but also that same law, what DeSantis is preventing kids from away from the birds and the bees. I mean, this is crazy. Away from the birds and bees? I mean, and this applies also to Disney World. I mean, what, for a matter of fact, that there are some rumors out there, and there is about Fort Bend, Texas, are willing to welcome Disney World to open a park in Texas, to move Disney World to Texas. Well, who knows what is going to be for an expansion, right? Disney, the company, could move in any state, regardless of the political party of the governor of that state, saying to don't have that stupid law that only DeSantis has created. Only DeSantis, the only one that has created, out of all of them, Republican and Democrats alike, DeSantis is the only one that he have his pipe dream law of getting this not to tell about the sexual orientation of the kids, or what if they're don't tell that boys like boys or girls like girls, and whatsoever whatnot, or the boys want to go to the girls bathroom or whatever. No, this is also preventing kids to know about the birds and the bees. I mean, this is kind of crazy, preventing the way the kids know about the birds and the bees. And Walt Disney, the company, disagrees with it, and it's kind of stupid of some sort of way, that why does a governor of this state that I live in Florida, wants to put this kind of law and then say, look at this, you gotta follow my rules, or we're gonna take out the special taxes or whatever it is. Put it that way, other companies did not give a damn about that kind of law. Universal didn't give a damn. SeaWorld didn't give a damn. Busch Gardens in Tampa didn't give a damn. All these companies did not give a damn, or did not give a hoot of that kind of law. Only Disney that has given a hoot of that type of law. So stupid law. I think it is stupid, regardless of political party. No, neither nor Democrat or Republican, that the mayor of Fort Bend said, yes, come to Texas, come to Texas. I mean, what is the pipe dream? The pipe dream, the Texan pipe dream will be everything is bigger in Texas, right? So what would happen if this pipe dream that I'm talking about, the pipe dream comes true, right? What is this? A bigger park, bigger than Orlando? You're gonna have it's gonna be made out of probably 10 theme parks. The whole city of Fort Bend would be all Disney property, and you have Epcot Center in Texas would have more countries that you could imagine. You have Holland. I don't know if you have Japan or Korea. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe the place of what is supposed to be South Korea would be, for example, Denmark, or let's say Scotland or Ireland, right? So put it that way, and then they're gonna add Greece. They're gonna add Italy. They're gonna add what else? They're gonna add more country, mostly. And most of the countries in the World Showcase in the pavilion of Epcot Center in Texas would be from Eastern Europe, Latin America, Africa, and parts of Asia, including the Middle East, right? Yeah, and then like also that will possibility Israel will have their own choice in the World Showcase, right? So it's gonna be like that, and one of the parks would be bigger than the one park in Japan. Will be Disney Sea. Disney Sea Japan is in Tokyo, Japan. So it's a big park, but Disney Sea in the USA is gonna be bigger than the one in Japan. But where is gonna go all this if Disney goes to Texas? The only one challenge that it would have would be PETA. PETA and all these animal rights activists, organizations will be after Disney because of Disney Sea, right? So that's what's gonna happen with this plan of moving to Texas, taking the whole city of Fort Bend to be 100% complete of Disney property. I mean, yes, get it, just 100% of Disney property. And for whatever it is that, it's gonna be a bunch of companies going in. I mean, for exactly wondering if this gonna happen, well, it would be a bigger park than the one in Orlando. When they move in Disney to Texas, it's gonna be bigger than in Orlando. It's gonna be stretched the size of the one in Orlando. Take out the whole city of Fort Bend, Texas, right? So if that happen, it's gonna happen. The situation is the governor of Texas don't have this kind of stupid ideal as DeSantis does. Well, that would be questionable. But if it's not of the DeSantis law, would be okay. Disney World goes to Texas and it's gonna be bigger than ever. Yeah, because everything's bigger in Texas, right? So if not, the most possibility of moving or going to another state will be most likely expanding the Disney park in California, because there's like 1% chance of a Fort Bend, Texas, and then about Creepy Creek, Disney property in Florida, would be paying higher tax money, and then what would be Texas Disney will not govern this part of Florida where they have their park, so it's gonna take it somewhere else. So what would be for Disney and what would be for DeSantis and his stupid laws, right? So what would be for all this stuff is that there's a 99% chance of the Disney park in California expanding. Disneyland, California, whatever, just adventure or something like that in California, in Anaheim, California. I mean, it's gonna be like the expansion of Disneyland. I mean, what's is going to be? There's a more possibility of a chance that the park in California expands than having Disney World moving to Texas or to some other state, right? The possibility of endless, and they're looking for a candidate before they expand the California park. So before they expand the California park, there are a bunch of candidates and there are a bunch of cities that all they gonna do is appear to have the offer. Would get it, there's Coney Island in New York. Who wants to have Disney Coney Island in New York City? All right, I mean, the state of New York, that would be a good candidate. Disney World in New York City or in New York, right, or New Jersey, but for where I was born, right? So this is all about this hideous laws with DeSantis, or if they just take the park to, besides Texas, to stay in the East Coast, to Pennsylvania, right? So there's a lot of room in there, and there might be another possibility that instead of Bend, Texas, that the governor of Bend, Texas would say, okay, open up the park in Texas, make it bigger than the one in Orlando. Boom, here we go. But you have the case that if they decided to go to Pennsylvania, it will say opening up a Disney park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So what would be the chances are? The whole thing of all this, it would be located to where a popular YouTuber was raised or born, seeing that Disney is taking over the property. Where is going to be this? I mean, it's going to be more of an investment, location to see what it brings out. I mean, or technically, because I'm probably Mickey Mouse and all the Disney characters will end up wearing black and yellow in some kind of way to have this kind of stuff happening. And yeah, anything is possible with Disney moving the park to Pennsylvania. And then what would be all this odd things? They will do it. Only thing is competing against Disney in the same ground. If they move to their new location, Hershey Park, all right? Hershey's Park, right there in the same state. The only difference is that it would be like Disney wearing the black and yellow colors to say, okay, this is when are we gonna go with the Disney World in the new location? Yep, it would be probably as a possibility. Who knows? But more of a possibility of seeing more things is about Disney expanding their California park, Disneyland, right? Disneyland, California Adventure, I think was called the one in the new park in Disneyland in California. And would it be with the expansion that would be more of a possibility of an expansion of Disney in California? That means that is a more possibility of that expanding the park in California, even though Walt Disney, the man, invested it all over until his death, and with Roy and everybody from the Disney family who will say that, okay, this is it. This is gonna pour some money in it. Let's open it up a park in Orlando, Florida. Not in Miami, Florida, but in Orlando, Florida. And this is where it goes until DeSantis from 1971, where they open up to DeSantis. DeSantis ruling in, and they just trying to put up this stupid rules of preventing kids to know about the birds and the bees, preventing all this stuff about, okay, what's the sexual orientation of your parents, or what's your sexual, or whatever is it, of this kind of don't say gay law is kind of BS, because at least biblically speaking, if you want to say love one another, love thy neighbor, does this tell you in Christianity, regardless of all the denominations, including Catholic? Well, what it is for DeSantis, you going to put this away. You're flocking people to bring more tourists, most likely to California. It says California knows how to party, and this is what will happen with that. I mean, people are gonna go, oh, let's go. Yeah, there are gonna be more tourists in California, and I see all of the advertisement about California, and let's go to, tourism will grow more in California, right? So this is where if people want to take their children to Disney, even though it costs a lot of money now, but then it would be heading to California, right? If other states were to open, those states could be Texas, could be New York, could be Pennsylvania, would gain more people to tourism money, more money for them. And what it is to have Disney World in their state, it would be great for the economy of that state. I mean, wondering that right here you have Miami, and you have the other thing is what would happen with Disney World when they leave Orlando. Warner Brothers would fit the bill, would fit in the shoes, to fill the shoes of Disney World, open their own park in Orlando, Florida. Not giving or just following the rules of what the DeSantis would say. That would be a maybe, right? So, for all this stuff, people it has to be very kind and be careful to what they say, regardless of political party affiliation. I don't care if it's a Republican or Democrat. What the governor of a state should say would have the rules. If do not put up with this damn rule about, oh, don't say gay or whatever it is, or trying to prevent children from the birds and the bees and all this kind of BS. This is all BS tossing only by DeSantis, nobody else but DeSantis, right? So the governor of Florida is such an idiot that is trying to prevent Disney to just move out to another state, where a governor open up with open arms, welcome to open a Disney park. Maybe Disney would be a fierce competitor against Hershey, depending on the state to where they move, and whatever it is that most possibility gaining more ground or more tourists towards California is like more of a possibility of moving people away from Florida and towards California. Why? Because this is where Disney begins. This is where the Disney park begins. I know they have Disney park in Japan, about 2 in China, and one in France. So what we're gonna have here is left out with no other candidates having a Disney park, one in the United States. bummer, right? The expansion of the California park will be an additional line of Epcot Center moving to California, right? So moving Epcot Center to California is kind of like it is what it is. To say that a possibility, yes, it's more of a possibility. It is more going to expand to California. Why? It's because what it is that once they have the California Adventures Park in Disneyland, then open up Epcot Center in California. What's going to be happen is that if we only have one Disney park left, theme park left, and that's in California as the only one, if everybody just to say not to put hands down or reject the offer because it costs too much money for Disney to invest and is pouring millions of dollars of these parks to be created, just as the Orlando park, the one in Florida, for Epcot, for Animal Kingdom, for all this, right? So the expansion in California will be in California taxpayers' money and all this stuff, that it would be the possibility of an Epcot Center in California and other parks in California. Disney parks that used to be in Orlando going to California would be like this expansion of Epcot Center of where are going to be, right? It's going to be totally different situation of scenario, and probably a possibility of Warner Brothers taking over a Disney park in Japan for a certain reason of all things, about over 2 damn rocks where they have political issues between Japan and the country that I'm going to mention that's going to be there, right? So it's going to be Japan and South Korea over 2 damn rocks, right? So the Lion Court rocks, right? So what was going to be happen is that the population of, Japanese Americans have a little Tokyo, but most likely Korean Americans, maybe in New York is gonna happen the same thing too. If they want to open a park in New York, just guess as Nathan hot dog competitions at Disney possibility. But now we go into California, where it's more of a logical scenario. What's going to happen with this logical scenario is they're gonna add more countries, but not just the same. The Texas park will have the Columbia kiosk, and don't talk about Bruno there. Well, that's gonna be added on to say California. The Epcot Center going to California. Also, then we have the World Showcase with Germany. If Korea butts in, they will add the thing about one of the first attractions is the Lion Court Rocks. The name of what Koreans call the Lion Court Rocks as Dokdo, known to the Japanese as Takashima. And Japan would be replaced by Holland. The Netherlands, right? So Netherlands choice, what is supposed to be the Japan choice in Orlando and California, is in the Netherlands. And you have Denmark, you have all these other countries, probably Colombia's added, probably Greece is added, and whatnot it would be. And that's how the fixtures of the California park, when they expand to Epcot Center, is going to be. It's going to be that way in the World Showcase, just to mention the Lion Court Rocks in the Koreans' point of view. So, and they're gonna have Italy, they're gonna have an expansion with Marco Polo going to the Lion Court at the Rocks. I don't know how it goes, but after all this is what the Epcot Center going to California is not just to piss off Koreans, or not to piss off the people of Japan about the line court rocks. So we're supposed to be Japan is gonna be the Netherlands. What is South Korea? They're gonna show up the exhibition of the line court rocks within their name, and everything else also a demonstration of the Hyperloop. I'm talking about my previous video, the Hyperloop train, that they'll be like the first country in the world to have Hyperloop, right? So and could be journey, I don't know, but it is about the Hyperloop train. And then what would say that South Korea will be the first country in the world to have Hyperloop. And then you have what is supposed to be the Japan Kyois. Now it belongs to the Netherlands when it moves to California. So that would be not to piss off Japanese nor them, because of this dilemma of two damn rocks, because of what other issues that would comes, unfortunately, about people, prostitution in the military or something like that back in World War II, just to prevent that. And then that's what happened with this and the expansion of the Disney park in California, right? So I mean, this is kind of stupid, right? But if you DeSantis are seeing this, right, you cannot prevent kids to know about the birds and the bees, procreate, all right? When would children know where they came from? So, or what is it to acceptance of the difference later on in life, if they like boys or if they like girls? Boys like boys or girls like girls. All right. So what it is of all this of this don't say gay law, that's kind of stupid. I mean, DeSantis, you are such an idiot, Ron DeSantis, that you are pulling away the main core of the problem of tourism in Florida, not just Miami, but the people who are gonna go to Disney Park in Florida, they have to go all the way to the West Coast, all the way to California to go to a Disney park, because that is the possibility. It ain't gonna be on Fort Bend, Texas. It ain't gonna be in New York or Pennsylvania or all of these cities that Disney might think of moving somewhere else. I mean, DeSantis is such an idiot. DeSantis, you're such an idiot. Moving tourism in Florida to California. That's what's gonna happen. No matter whatever political party they are, no matter if you are a Republican or a Democrat, this kind of stupid laws about preventing kids about the sexual orientation, and tell the people, somebody of their parents about their sexual orientation, and taking away the kids away from the birds and the bees, then that's kind of stupid that only DeSantis does. No other governor of any state of the United States of America do this kind of stupid law, either Republican or Democrat, like DeSantis, Ron DeSantis of Florida. So if you're voting for that, don't vote for DeSantis. Doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat, don't vote for DeSantis for re-election. All right. So I would say keep Disney in Florida. Don't vote for DeSantis. Don't let people to flock tourism that wanted to go to Disney to California. And that's about it. The possibility is that they all go into the plan of Disney will be expanding their park in California if the offers of other states will not be open because of the investment and all the money nowadays. So goodbye, peace out, take care of yourself. Please subscribe to the Embargo Man channel. You got to be kind to your own audience, all right? this is where I could say this kindness of your own audience. In Florida, if they wanted to go to Florida, don't let them flock to California. Don't let them flock to Texas or Pennsylvania, where where Disney decided to open a park in Pennsylvania. A popular YouTuber's hometown will be filled with Disney parks. You know what it is? Full with Disney parks and Disney property and all this stuff, and then some location investment, and all this money going on. Don't let them flock to Pennsylvania either. But most likely, don't let the people who want to go to Disney parks, that possibly is to flocking all the people that want to go to a Disney park in Florida to California. You flock the tourists that are going to Florida to California, because that is not right, and that is not the way that how things work. You got to be very kind to your audience. If not, they're just gonna go find somewhere else to lay their eggs. They're gonna go find somewhere else. And this is why the possibility of why the people who are going to Disney, they're not gonna go to Florida, they're gonna flock to California. Goodbye. And please subscribe and hit the bell button.